Today is April the 10th. Is it obedience or is it faith? Well, Paul addresses this too. Let's read Romans 10 from 1 to 15. Brothers and sisters, my heart's desire and prayer to God for them is that they may be saved. For I can testify that they have a zeal for God, but it's not based on knowledge, not knowing the righteousness of God and seeking to establish their own. They've not submitted to God's righteousness. For Christ is the culmination of the law, so that there may be righteousness for everyone who believes. Moses wrote concerning the righteousness that comes from the law. The person who does these things will live by them. But the righteousness that comes from faith says, don't say in your heart, who will ascend into heaven? That is to bring Christ down. Or who will descend into the abyss? That is to bring Christ up from the dead. But what does it say? The word is near you, in your mouth, in your heart. That is the word of faith that we proclaim. Because if you confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. For one believes with the heart, leading to righteousness. One confesses with the mouth, leading to salvation. The scripture says, no one who believes in him will be put to shame. For there's no distinction between Jew and Greek. The same Lord is Lord of all and is generous to all who call on him. For everyone who calls on the name of the Lord will be saved. But how are they to call on one in whom they have not believed? How are they to believe in one of whom they've never heard? And how are they to hear without someone to proclaim him? How are they to proclaim him unless they've been sent? As it's written, how beautiful are the feet of all who bring good news. Paul addresses the essence of the gospel in this passage. It's not through the law. That was an attempt to establish their own righteousness by their own obedience. Christ is the end of the law for the purpose of justification. Moses says that those who do the law live by the law, but justification comes from faith, so that no one can go up to heaven to bring Christ down. No one can go to hell to bring Christ back from the dead. Rather, it is the word that is near to us, Christ himself. Here, Paul is actually quoting Deuteronomy chapter 30. Let's read Deuteronomy 30, 11 to 20.
Deuteronomy 30, verses 1 through 20, New Revised Standard Edition. When all these things have happened to you, the blessings and the curses that I have set before you, if you call them to mind among all the nations where the Lord your God has driven you, and return to the Lord your God, and you and your children obey him with all your heart and with all your soul, just as I am commanding you today, then the Lord your God will return you from your captivity and have compassion on you, gathering you again from all the peoples among whom the Lord your God has scattered you. Even if you are exiled to the ends of the world, from there the Lord your God will gather you, and from there he will take you back. The Lord your God will bring you into the land that your ancestors possessed, and you will possess it. He will make you more prosperous and more numerous than your ancestors. Moreover, the Lord your God will circumcise your heart and the heart of your descendants, so that you will love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul, in order that you may live. The Lord your God will put all these curses on your enemies and on the adversaries who took advantage of you. Then you shall again obey the Lord, observing all his commandments that I am commanding you today. And the Lord your God will make you abundantly prosperous in all your undertakings, in the fruit of your body, in the fruit of your livestock, and in the fruit of your soil. For the Lord will again take delight in prospering you. just as he delighted in prospering your adversaries, when you obey the Lord your God by observing his commandments and decrees that are written in the book of the law, because you turn to the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul. Surely this commandment that I am commanding you today is not too hard for you, nor is it too far away. It is not in heaven that you should say, "Who will go up to heaven for us and get it for us, so that we may hear it and observe it?" Neither is it beyond the sea that you should say, "Who will cross to the other side of the sea for us and get it for us, so we may hear it and observe it?" No, the word is very near to you. It is in your mouth and in your heart for you to observe. See, I have set before you today life and prosperity, death and adversary. If you obey the commandments of the Lord your God that I am commanding you today, by loving the Lord your God, walking in his ways, and observing his commandments, decrees, and ordinances, then you shall live and become numerous, and the Lord your God will bless you in the land that you are entering to possess. But if your heart turns away, and you do not hear, but are led astray to bow down to other gods and serve them, I declare to you today that you shall certainly perish. You shall not live long in the land that you are crossing the Jordan to enter and possess. I call heaven and earth to witness against you today that I have set before you life and death, blessing and curse. Choose life so that you and your descendants may live, loving the Lord your God, obeying him and holding fast to him, for that means life to you and length of days, so that you may live in the land that the Lord swore to give your ancestors, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob.
The Word is near to us. It is Christ who came to us. Paul goes on to summarize the gospel. Confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord. Believe with your heart that God raised him from the dead. He said this is true for Jew and Greek, because Joel 2, verse 32 says, "Everyone who calls on the name of the Lord will be saved." Paul then ends with a chain. God sends, we preach. You hear, you believe, you call on him, and God saves. Whole process starts with God and ends with God. Is it obedience or is it faith? It's faith that leads to obedience. What do we do about this today? Well, in that chain, there is something that we do over here. We preach. Go preach. Scripture reading from the New Revised Standard Version by Emily Herrera. If you like what you heard today, share it with your friends.